But that comes with its own set of challenges, especially when the temperatures warm up. Here to tell us how to avoid injuries in the heat is Dr. Joseph Guettler, an orthopedic surgeon. Dr. Joe, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so let's get right into it. Athletes are starting to get back in the game, especially some younger people. What do players need to keep in mind before they do something to get themselves hurt?
Well, there have been a lot of people who have been doing stuff in their backyards. They're used to playing year-round sports. Some have sought the way of the couch potato, and now they're trying to get back into things. And what I've been seeing in my practice are a lot of start-up injuries. Take, for instance, a little baseball player who's in Little League, who's been tossing the ball with his brother for a couple months, but is now back in the action. Lots of sore shoulders, sore elbows. Same with young soccer players, particularly females. They haven't been able to reacclimate back to the rigors of competition. Their muscles, tendons, ligaments haven't quite been tested the past few months, and now they go out and they blow a knee out. You've also probably seen a lot of people out biking, walking, running. I fixed my share of clavicle fractures the past couple of weeks, so be careful on your bike.
And going back to the athletes, what do you recommend for those folks who are trying to literally get back in the game? How do they slowly get back into the game?
Anytime you acclimate to anything, it takes a few weeks. You know, even I think back in the day when I was a cross-country runner and wrestler, I'd go into wrestling and I'd be gassed my first 2 weeks, and I thought I was in shape. You have to let your body acclimate. There has to be plenty of stretching, conditioning, et cetera, and then the big deal is when you're exercising in the heat, you really got to be careful.
Well, I was actually going to ask you that. What are some of the warning signs? I know we got a little bit lucky these next couple of days with 70-degree temperatures, but extreme heat, what's the biggest concern?
Well, you know, there's heat cramps, and I lecture the football teams that I take care of every year. What's going to take you out in late August, early September is a cramp. It's not going to be some major injury. But there's also heat exhaustion and heat stroke. Heat stroke kills about 200 young, healthy people every year. So it's a real problem. So to avoid it, you exercise in the morning or the evening when you're outdoors. You exercise for short amount of times. You wear lightweight, light-fitting, mesh or moisture-wicking clothing. And, of course, you gotta drink water and Gatorade and things like that and stay hydrated. That's the biggie.
Does humidity play into this at all? We've talked about heat, but what about the humidity?
Yeah, the combination of the heat and the humidity are the worst because the humidity doesn't allow sweat to evaporate from your body, and that's how your body cools itself.
And quickly, are there any injuries that people should look out for depending on their age?
Most younger people, you know, it's interesting. In younger athletes, the growth plate, where the bones grow, that's the weak link. So growth plate irritations, inflammations, and even fractures. And in older people, you know, our tendons, ligaments, and muscles are a little more, shall we say, brittle than they used to be. So, you know, especially if you've been sidelined because of the virus for the last couple of months and you're getting back into that summer softball league or your tennis league or whatever it is, you gotta stretch and warm up.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Joe, for joining us this morning. I know there's more information on the website, miorthosurgeons.com. We're going to put that on our website as well. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We'll be